Man, that hurt. Alright. Hello everybody, this is Uncle Dylan here. And you already know the drill. We all know the drill. That's why we come to these what ifs anyway. To listen to me complain or moment and sometimes fully do a what if. But luckily we're just doing a what if. Yeah, so today this one has actually been, well, not the most requested, but it's been requested about once again, like in my early days of YouTube, and yeah, it's gonna be very abrupt is the word I would use if I even gave shite about it, but I do, and I'm doing it. So we might as well just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Oh yeah, pounds of Coca-Cola at this rate, because today we are doing one shot, and this is actually a medieval what if. Yes, it's actually been a while since I actually done a medieval what if. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? No, it hasn't. But this one has actually been requested, like I said. So this one we are doing the one shot of what if Deku was a bounty hunter medieval version. Now, I'm only going to say this once in this what if, so bear in mind. This is technically similar to For Honor. There's a war between the three people, and that it is the knights and well, the Viking. However, the knights and the Vikings have been at war during the Christian times when Christianity was more corrupted than your usual fucking pathetic excuse of Christianity and Jewism. Actually, Jewism is actually not that bad. It's actually the least Jewish. Are actually the fucking least racist. And that is a bad sign for Christians. Call me cruel all you want. Call me the devil's son for all you want, because I do not give a fuck. So, yeah. Now, when Izuku... what I'm going to say is only the one time, because this is going to be, like I said, the factions have been going crazy over this. Like, legit. It's not even a freaking joke. They've been going insane for this for a very long time. So, luckily for you guys, we are doing it. Now, in this one, Izuku's weapon of choice is pretty much the least you would expect. Now, his armor of choice, if you guys play For Honor, then you know what I'm talking about. Izuku in this one, and yes, there are quirks in this one, so Izuku has a strength-enhancing quirk, because I'm not going to make him OP like last time. Oh, no. Well, I know how many of you people prefer to have that, but it ain't going to happen. But at least not in a while, because... as well reasons. I think we all know why. So yeah, you can imagine the pure embarrassment that they're gonna go through. Now, with Izuku, who is pretty much just trying his best to hope to God that they don't shoot him in the arse, aka his comrades. Now, Izuku is a mercenary as usual. Now, his armor is a little bit lighter than usual. Normally, I would let them have like a fucking alternate fucking armor, like heavy fucking plate to the point where they suck the very fucking oof from my soul, but in this one, that's not the case. In this one, actually, Izuku is a member of a further north, and like I said, this is pretty much factions. I'm not trying to do anything shiteless. But Izuku in this one is very abrupt, and he actually doesn't really give two shits about the factions. Mostly, let's say this, if Izuku had to choose between being good or evil, I think he'd rather choose the money and actually choose a reason to fight, and not a reason and not a no reason to fight. And in this one, he has a reason. He gets paid. Now, Inko Midori on this one is actually a noble knight, I guess you could say. Because, let's be honest here, knights that are noble are pretty much just a fucking pain in the ass. And let's be honest, knights back then weren't really so noble, so I'm gonna say she is a knight, and she does not give two shits. It's about anyone or anything, so pretty much we're gonna leave it at there. There. But that doesn't mean she's not well known. And that doesn't mean she does not know about her son on leaving her royal family. Because Izuku willingly left. He does not give a two shits about his family. Oh no, he does not. Mostly because he does not see the fucking reason to. Like, he does not. Not one bit. You would think in his head, all the nobility, all the men he can sleep with? Yes, I'm doing another straight what if, because another gay what if, because I gave you one like a couple of days, like a day ago. Oh, and I'm still a little peeved about Shadow's little breakup. Up the fucking player, bitch. So you can imagine I'm still going to be a little bit teensy. So I'm not going to probably do any requested what-ifs, even though I don't even do them, period. Well, not all of them. I have done some of them in the past. But I'll probably see which certain what-if. And I actually got this idea from a subscriber. I think his name was Lion, I think? I got to relook at the what-if. Because in this one, Izuku is Irish. I gotta re-look at his name. Like I said, here we go. No, this ain't it. Here we go. Shout out to Razinus Rex Demon. I think Redditus T23 Rex Demon, and for suggesting this what if, however. Or this is not a DC what if, but thank you for the idea. So I'm still gonna pull this stunt. I may do like a DC thing in later time, but let's be honest, DC is a fucking enormous amount of shockery. I mean, seriously. Like, DC is probably the biggest one that has the most lands that has pretty much popped out of fucking nowhere. Now, in this one, Izuku wears a type of mongrel type armor. What's mongrels, you may ask? And I thought I gave you guys history. I literally give you guys entertainment, and yet you all have the bollocks to ask me, what's a mongrel? Oh, seriously? After everything I gave you, all the information, you still don't know what a fucking mongrel is. And the day is only started. Okay, that is not what I wanted. I said mongrels. Give me a minute. Mongrels. I hope I'm spelling that right. Aha! Well, this is pretty much the best thing you're gonna get from me. And this guy is from Ted Ed? It's like 5 minutes and 1 second, so. Well, actually, no.
Yeah, you'll get what you get. Here. I don't want the USA crap. Subscribe to EdTed for reasons so I don't get copyrighted for this. Actually, no, let's do this better. Subscribe to See You in History Mythology. Yeah, there we go.
Since prehistory, humans have learned that living in groups ensured higher levels of security and better odds of surviving against the dangers of nature. Large villages were built to lodge an ever-increasing number of people. As the ages passed, the villages turned into prosperous and bustling cities. To protect the cities, giant walls were built around them. The citizens could carry on with their lives without any concern. Humanity kept evolving towards more civilized and organized societies. There were still people in the world who maintained a nomadic lifestyle, preferring the freedom to switch from one region to another instead of establishing in one specific place. The distant plains of Mongolia were home to many nomadic tribes who still kept that simple way of life, surviving on wild animal hunting and goat and sheep farming. Since farm animals needed food constantly, there was a need to always be in search of new pastures. For that reason, the Mongols did not have established houses. The solution was to create camps capable of being disassembled and taken in wooden wagons, allowing an entire tribe to travel together with the herd to more fertile places. Life was not easy under those conditions. One family needed to share a tight space inside huts called yurts, built with a wooden structure and covered by a tent of felt or wool. Some larger tribes even occupied large portions of land with their huts, creating a prominence amid the hills. The tribes were commanded by tribal chiefs known as khans, responsible for deciding political and military matters. To help them travel long distances, the nomadic tribes specialized in the domestication of wild horses. Despite their short stature, Mongolian horses are very hardy and capable of running at high speed, making them a crucial resource in that environment. Horses were so important that the wealth of a tribal chief was measured by how many animals he kept. The Mongolian plains are hit by strong winds, and the days are almost always cold. But with the arrival of winter, the living conditions became really difficult. Those plains were also filled with groups of thieves and renegades who attacked the flocks to steal animals. They even invaded smaller camps in search of valuables or to kidnap women. The constant need for land for their herds incited rivalries between the Mongolian tribes, who often solved their differences with brutal fighting. Other nomadic peoples, like the Tartars, also made violent incursions against the Mongolian camps. For the Mongols, life was filled with challenges and uncertainty. To the powerful Chinese kingdoms, the Mongols were nothing more than pure savages, who attacked caravans and small border villages, but were never seen as a real threat. For centuries, the Chinese dynasties tried to keep the tribes of Mongolia fighting each other, paying cash or goods to hire and bribe the local leaders. This ensured that they remained rivals. The Yuan Dynasty greatly hindered the development of the Mongols, since the borders were always threatened by the expansion of tribes. The Mongols seemed destined to live in mediocrity and forever in the shadow of stronger kingdoms. But in 1206, a man named Temujin used his fierce determination to win the right to be called the Genghis Khan, which can be translated as the Great Khan. Genghis Khan launched a campaign to unify the tribes. Those who refused to join him were put to the sword. Gathering a large number of warriors, Genghis Khan marched towards the proud Chinese cities. At that time, China was not a unified kingdom. It was divided by three great dynasties. The Tangut dynasty controlled the northern portion of Chinese territory. The Jin dynasty was located in the northeast, while the Song dynasty dominated the southern part of China. The Tanguts were the first target of the Mongols. Their territory was closer to Mongolia, and not all their cities had walls. The Mongols had no siege weapons and did not know the technology to build them, which made the walled cities extremely difficult targets to attack. But the Mongols had an advantage: time. They surrounded the cities and set up their traditional camps just as they did for many generations. Chinese citizens no longer could go out to look after the crops or get any other source of food. The Mongols, on the other hand, had their flocks to ensure their livelihood. Sending soldiers to fight the Mongols in the open was a fruitless effort. For many centuries, the Mongols lived riding and hunting in the plains. Those skills made them excellent knights and archers. The Mongols used a type of bow that was reinforced with animal horns and tendons. This allowed the bow to shoot arrows from a long distance with amazing power and accuracy. The compact size of the bows also allowed agile handling, even during a full-speed gallop. When quarreling, the Mongols always sought to keep their distance, while punishing their enemies with a massive rain of deadly arrows. The Mongols highly valued military intelligence and were ambushing experts. One of the strategies most used by the Mongol warriors was to pretend to be retreating when attacked by large infantry or heavy cavalry. When enemy troops began to show fatigue from the chase, they were surprised by the quick maneuvers of the Mongols. The Mongols managed to control their horses using only their knees, leaving their hands free to handle weapons. This strategy allowed the Mongols to defeat more numerous and better equipped armies. But if it were necessary to fight closer combat, the Mongolian warriors could fight with great ferocity. The Mongol archers were known as Mangudai. They were trained from childhood to fight. These men spent so much time riding their horses that many developed problems with their leg joints. For the Mongols, no matter whether it would take weeks or months, the besieged cities would starve and be forced to surrender. The Mongols transformed the precious city walls into great traps to be used against civilized peoples. Nevertheless, the waiting always irritated the powerful Genghis Khan. He went on to completely shatter the cities that would not agree to submit to his army, maybe because they were subjected to a difficult and hostile life, or out of contempt for civilized peoples. The Mongols showed no mercy to their enemies. Taking prisoners was seen as something useless by the Mongols. They had no prisons and would have to feed more people. It was an unnecessary problem. It is estimated that about 30 million people lost their lives during the Mongol invasions in China. Cities were plundered and reduced to ashes, leaving a trail of devastation everywhere. Mongol cruelty was not just savagery, it was a form of psychological terror against their enemies. After all, if the population of an entire city was decimated for resisting an attack, in all likelihood, the next city would end up encountering the same bitter fate and would surrender without putting up a fight. But the Mongols were also practical, and they knew how to adapt quickly. They always tried to keep alive the Chinese noblemen and those with useful skills such as carpenters, cartographers, blacksmiths, and cooks. And, with the help of Chinese engineers, the Mongols built siege weapons, which made the process of conquering cities faster. Even the great city of Beijing, with its 12-meter-high wall, failed to withstand the siege of the Mongols. The success of Genghis Khan's achievements brought even more warriors to join the army. The Mongols occupied a huge share of land with their camps. Some Chinese cities were spared, as long as they accepted to pay a monthly tribute to the Mongols. The tribute was paid in gold and silver, high-quality wood, and precious silk rolls. The Mongols quickly began to adopt and adapt new customs and technologies, such as the manufacture of high-quality weaponry and armor, silk clothing, and jewelry. Even the horses used by the elite Mongolian warriors became equipped with iron-plated armor. By the year 1215, the Mongols already controlled the territories that had once belonged to the Tangut and Jin dynasties. The Song dynasty was the one left, which, thanks to its incredibly large army, managed to defend its borders against the Mongols. Under Genghis Khan, the Mongols accumulated great wealth and fertile territories, starting one of the greatest empires in history. In 1218, the Mongols ruled the conquered territories in China with an iron fist. The Chinese had paid a high price for underestimating the steppe barbarians. Now, they were forced to collaborate and obey their new sovereigns. The Mongols didn't give much value to coins or precious metals. They soon realized that it would be a waste to accumulate such things. With the help of Chinese experts, the Mongols learned that trade was the best way to make a kingdom prosper. Genghis Khan decided to make use of a large number of plundered coins and started sending emissaries to distant kingdoms like Korea, India, and Persia. The intention was to establish trade routes with other kingdoms while attacking the Song dynasty constantly. But one serious diplomatic issue changed the course of history forever. Persia was run by a Muslim empire called Khwarezm. The Mongolian emissaries who were sent to seek trade deals with the Khwarezm were accused of being spies and executed. Such an offense could not go without an answer. The Mongols set out to confront the brave Muslim armies. In command of 200,000 warriors, Genghis Khan advanced against large Persian cities. The Khwarezm had great armies, with brave and well-trained knights. But even that wasn't enough to defeat the Mongols, who were fighting like angry wolves. The cities of Samarkand and Bukhara were besieged and shattered by the Mongols. The destruction was so massive that not even the animals were spared. Millions of human lives perished during the Mongol invasions in Persia. In 1220, the Khwarezm Empire was extinct, and the world knew it would never underestimate the Mongols again. The Mongols had already learned about the benefits of adding different types of soldiers to their ranks, and because of this, many Muslim warriors were allowed to join the Mongolian army. The gigantic Mongolian army had people of different ethnicities and cultures. Mongols, Chinese, and Arabs lived side by side in the camps. This had many benefits for the development of new ties between these peoples. The Mongols were incredibly tolerant of the religious and spiritual beliefs of other
Okay, I'll be right back, people. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
peoples, allowing cults and rituals of all kinds in their camps and cities. The religion of the Mongols is known as Tengriism. It's based on the belief of a supreme deity called Tengri, which would be heaven itself above all things on earth. Tengriism incorporates shamanic elements and ancestor worship. However, over time, it has also come to include elements of Tibetan Buddhism. With the capture of the Persian territories, the Mongols had under their rule much of the famous Silk Road. The Silk Road connected the commerce of several countries, being used by caravans from more distant and exotic lands. It is where the most valuable goods of the time passed through. The Mongols did not forgive thieves. They kept relentlessly going after those who dared to commit crimes in their territories. Because of this, the Silk Road became safe for travelers and merchants, which popularized the term Pax Mongolica, Mongol peace. To control such a source of wealth was decisive for the emerging Mongol Empire. With this pretext, the Mongols set out for Europe, where they began to conquer lands in Russia and Ukraine. Nothing seemed capable of stopping the advance of the Mongol armies, commanded by generals with authority to decide when to attack or retreat. The Mongols divided their forces and attacked multiple targets at the same time, preventing the enemies to be reinforced. But in 1227, the great leader Genghis Khan passed away abruptly. His death brought a wave of uncertainty among the Mongols. Many leaders and generals believed themselves worthy of taking the title of Khan of the Khans. The successor of Genghis Khan was his third son Ogedei, responsible for continuing the expansion of the Mongol Empire. The other sons and grandsons of Genghis Khan were given command of territories that would become known as Khanates. As was expected of a son of Genghis Khan, Ogedei proved to be a strong leader. Under his command, the Mongols completed the conquest of northern China and completely dominated Korea. Ogedei managed to enter the territory of the powerful Song dynasty. That started a war that would last 40 years for the control of southern China. Following the model of divide and conquer, the Mongols continued to advance towards Europe. The Mongols had the leadership of one of the greatest generals and military strategists in history, Subutai. He had served Genghis Khan and now served Ogedei Khan. Subutai was a man of simple origins, but thanks to his achievements on the battlefield, he managed to rise to the rank of great general of the Mongolian nation, and is said to be even a personal friend of Genghis Khan. Subutai lived up to his reputation. Together with other generals of the Mongolian army, he led an invasion against Russia. That in itself would be an act of courage given the vastness of Russian territory and its history of having brutal warriors. But Subutai was not a common general, and neither were his tactics. Subutai invaded Russia in the middle of winter, progressing with his troops in temperatures below zero. The achievement was only possible thanks to the outstanding resilience of the Mongol warriors. The Russians fought bravely, but were unable to stop the Mongolian war machine. In 1240, the great city of Kiev was taken and plundered. Poland, Hungary, and Romania were the next kingdoms to fall. Not even the European knights, veterans of the Crusades, could answer the Mongol archers. The other European countries were already preparing for the inevitable invasion, desperately trying to send emissaries to negotiate with the Mongol leaders. But the Mongol Empire suffered another unexpected blow. In 1241, Ogedei Khan passed away due to alcoholism. As the Mongolian customs dictated, all the leaders of the nation had to gather to elect a new sovereign. This spared the rest of Europe from being annexed by the Mongol Empire. The election was presided over in the capital of the Mongol Empire, the city of Karakorum, which had been built in Mongolia. The death of Ogedei revealed the ambition of many nobles in Mongolian society. In the following years, there was an intense succession of leaders who fought for the title of Great Khan. That fueled armed conflicts among the Mongols. The Great Mongol Empire was already showing its first signs of instability. Years went by, and disagreements among the noble Mongols continued to weaken the empire. Then, one of Genghis Khan's grandchildren, the famous Kublai, defeated his younger brother's troops and claimed the title of the supreme leader of the Mongolian nation. The empire was divided into four major khanates. In 1271, the Yuan Dynasty was founded by Kublai Khan and commanded the territories of China and Korea. Chagatai, the second son of Genghis Khan, founded his empire in northern Afghanistan, which was called Chagatai Khanate. The Golden Horde Khanate controlled much of Russia and Hungary and was founded by Batu Khan. The Il Khanate was centered in Persia and was commanded by Hulagu Khan. Kublai Khan conquered the last Chinese territories that resisted Mongolian domination. He became the first foreign emperor to rule all of China. As a child, Kublai was educated under the customs of the Chinese court. Soon he became an educated man and enjoyed the luxury of civilized life, which was seen as a weakness by many traditionalist Mongol leaders. Kublai Khan's government was plagued by riots and political conspiracies. His territorial administration was not having good results, and uprisings frequently broke out at different points in the empire. In an attempt to fortify his position as leader of a warrior nation, Kublai wanted to conquer new territories, turning his attention to Japan. Compared to the Mongol Empire, Japan was a small and poor country. It looked like an easy target to conquer. Using Chinese boats, the Mongols assembled a large fleet and set sail for the Japanese coast. But they did not expect a sudden weather change. A strong typhoon hit the
Yep, that's Mongols. Now, in case you don't know what a Mongol... Now you know what a Mongol is, actually. Ooh. Now, Izuku was actually wearing Mongol armor. If you want to know what Mongol armor is, look the fuck up. Because that's where you gotta get it. So, yeah. Now, Izuku was actually raised by the Mongols. Because remember, Mongols were literally that. They were literally what they sound like. So he knew Mongol traditions and knew how to fight. His father, Hasashi, was actually a member of the Mongol Empire, so he already knew how they would fight. However, he was also Persian. So mixing Persian fighting and Mongol fighting is pretty much fucking... Well, it's dangerous is the best way of saying it. And Izuku never showed mercy. His weapon of choice, I gotta look it up because, well, let's just say for reasons. Let's see. B for honor. Yes, I'm pulling it for honor. Give me a minute. Let's see. The Gladiator Griffin. Griffin's weapon. Yeah, what is that one called? Okay, common mercenary, rare explorer. I meant what type of weapon. What's his weapon? Yeah, what is Griffin's weapon? Okay, it's called a Barchish axe, I think. I have to write that down. Okay, give me a minute. B-A-R-B. Not Bard, really? I-D-H-E. Here we go. I'm not foxhole, jackass. Aha. Okay, a Bartran each, or whatever, or beardish is a type of polearm used from the 14th to the 17th century in Europe. Oh, it's a European weapon. Polish barbarian axe. You could have just called it that, jackass. It's like, seriously, medieval sports or Spanish or Danish axe in the barbar proper appears around 400, 1400, yada 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 yada. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much it's just one big giant fucking axe. However, in this one, Izuku's axe was meant for executions. Now, like I said, in this one, Izuku has is pretty much not normal, but he does have a wear quirk. I was thinking of just giving him the strength enhancing quirk, then I thought to myself, that'd be too fucking easy. And let's be honest, that axe looks fucking badass. Now, Izuku does ride a horse into battle, and is similar to the mongrel horse. However, he left the tribes due to actual reasons. It's now, knowing mongrels, their armor and weapons are actually not that hard, are not that big, and not that heavy. So when the Mongol Empire he knew that the Mongols were dying, he moved on and started to eventually. He already knew like 100 languages, so pretty much as that. He knew the languages and he knew how it worked, and he already knew customs and tradition. So Izuku always knew about, like, I'm gonna say 30 languages, thanks to his father, who was also the Mongols' blacksmith. So you can imagine how that worked. Now, when Izuku moved on to the world and pretty much started traveling, Izuku left at the age of 17, mostly because his father knew that that his fights and wars would just end brutally, and he would have to choose a side. So he became a mercenary to pretty much live a life as a mercenary. His mother in this in this medieval AU is the best way I should say it, lived in a fucking rich boy's home. I mean, she was noble, like I said. She lived in, I'm gonna say, what was that one country called? I can never remember its name. She was a noble in England, I think. And she was a crusader. There you go. Oh, her weapon of choice was a long sword, and she wore plate armor. However, Izuku knew about her, but he doesn't give a shit. He's a mercenary. He could care less. With Izuku, who has now joined the cause, we get to Izuku, who is at Russia, the biggest empire in history. And he just sees them. Now, they know he's Mongolian, but they don't know who he is. So pretty much they think he's just another Mongolian in trying to attack. However, his father, Izuku, heard about his father's death. So he's pretty much a little bit cold right now, and he doesn't give a shit who people are paying him. Now, when Izuku got done with that, he pretty much moved on and accepted life as a mercenary. So now, like I said, we start at Russia. Now, when we get to Russia, Russia is pretty much let him in. But this is when pretty much he's confronted by a Russian soldier. The armor of the Mongolian is obvious that he is made for the harshest life. Now, Izuku was different from the others. He's able to ride his horse and don't get leg problems. So he doesn't really give a shit. But when the Russians asked, "Why are you here?" He simple reply was looking for work, meaning mercenary work. The soldier immediately knew what he was here for, and this is when pretty much he accepted his offer. So this is when pretty much he hired the knight, showed him to the noble. Now the noble was pretty much was actually intimidated by Izuku because of his heritage of a Mongol soldier. So when he was given a task to kill a creature of pure hatred at night, aka a couple of bandits who went rogue, an elite Russian knights. This is when Izuku knew that this was going to be his death wish, but he didn't care. So he pretty much took up and got the job. We now get to Izuku, who is now riding it in, but he waits, because this is when he does the smartest thing. He poisons their drinks. So pretty much, as he snuck into the camp and poisoned them, because he knew that they were going to be heavy drinkers. There's one thing that he knew about Russians, is that they drank a lot. Now, I'm not saying that it's race. I'm not saying racist stuff, but let's admit it, we both all know that Russians drink as much as an Irish, flirts and cusses, which is pretty big. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound racist or anything. I'm just saying that. And because, well, it's somewhat the truth. So any of my Russian fans out there, you know I mean well, but let's face it, we all like our grog. We all like our vodka. Now, I was thinking of making this Irish, but then I realized, due to me adding mongrels, I fucking can't. So I'll add an Irish accent later. Or pretty much somewhere that it doesn't involve all this country. I might add it in a DC what if though. Depends on my mood. Anyway, back to the what if before I forget. Izuku actually goes to the leader because the guy was smart. He knew that something was up because he didn't drink it. And turns out this Russian didn't drink any alcohol. Oh, he was not like the others. So he just did not drink. So this is when Izuku confronts him. The guy speaks in Russian. So mind you, if I'm speaking English, they're speaking Russian. So don't be a jerk. This is when the Russian says, "So what is a mongrel attacking a bunch of highwaymen and a bunch of Russian soldiers? You don't look Russian anymore. Ah, a smart ass. Okay then, let's see how you do against a fight." The Russian soldier pretty much attacked Izuku, but Izuku moved at high speed and just slashed his back. Now, you're probably thinking, but what about the Russian? He's probably wearing heavy armor. No, this guy... Here's the thing. In the cold, you gotta be careful what you wear, because Russia shows a big fuck you right in the pelvis, in the plums. Because number one, they don't know anything about mercy. So Izuku, he obviously killed the Russian because he doesn't really need to prove that he is strong, because, as well, he's strong enough to wield that damn weapon. And I mean, damn, that thing is huge. So pretty much, Izuku moves up pretty much brings the Russian heads back to the leader, which brought the leader surprise, but also annoyed because he was really, really, really hoping that he would die in the battle, which annoys him so much. But unfortunately, he did not die, and this is when pretty much he moves onward. Now, with Izuku, who is pretty much minding his own concern, because like I said, that Izuku doesn't really give a shit. So you can imagine the amounts of annoyedness he had in his voice when he realized he was dealing with idiots. They still paid him because, well, he's managed to kill elite Russian soldiers. In their eyes, they were weak, so he's not really that pissed. Yes, but that guy is annoyed that he didn't get to see his death, so you can imagine the annoyance on his face. Now, back to Izuku, who is now just riding out, and he's been becoming well known over the past years. So, over the past years, he's been getting known and more known by the fucking day. Okay, so you can imagine the annoyance he's been getting. Now, Izuku, in this one, does not want to be known. He actually prefers to keep his life, well, unknown. For obvious reasons, actually. But they don't, because they just don't give a shit about him. So when Izuku moved up and pretty much got there, he pretty much managed to get some better armor. He managed to actually upgrade his armor a little bit. It still is Mongol armor, but it's better than the other shit that they've been wearing. Now, Izuku came across, started to walk up and, well, get home. Because Izuku knew that he was going to have to move around more, so that's what he did. This is when Izuku managed to get to a certain location. I'm going to say further south in this one. When he managed to get to the Night Slope region, aka the Crusaders. Now, Izuku is known by the Crusaders. Oh yes, he is well known by the Crusaders because he was a Mongol. And people found out who he is pretty fucking quick. So, Izuku, just minding his own business, and he's just drinking, mind you. Now, people still haven't forgotten the Mongols incident, is the word I would say. What do I mean by that? Well, best way to saying is that they haven't forgot that the Mongols were bloodthirsty, cold-hearted murderers who invaded China. So Izuku being there kind of sets off a big fuck you, we're not doing shit for you, type of thing. But other nobles still chose to hire him because, well, he's a mongrel. You can't really say no on good fight. So, Izuku, who's now annoyed, Izuku, who managed to get something, sat down and managed to get more info. How about his next contract? And his next contract involved in killing more people. Because, as well, he needed to. So when he got more and more known and killed more people, Inko found out about him. But they don't say a word because, number one, she finds out that he's just a mongrel, and he, like I said, her pride of Christianity kicked in. Now, Izuku in this one does not believe in the Great Spirit, I'm afraid. He's okay, A, for the religion. They pretty much move on. So, yeah. Now, with Izuku, this is when he immediately sat down and started drinking. Until he pretty much hears a blade on his table, which he is minding his own damn business. This is when he sees a knight wearing full plate armor, and see, he's just so many motherfucking ways to kill this bastard. Now, mind you, this armor is completely, and I mean completely, armored up. Like, it's a fucking miracle he can walk. This guy is armored as Iron Man, as a Hulkbuster. And the knight just stands there, blocking his way of escaping, and two other knights come in. He sighs of annoyance because he's trying to eat, because all he's eating really is just some bread. Hey, he's not even doing shit, he's just there. Here. But the bastards are pretty much, you know how Christianity is, people, so pretty much you can imagine. This is when he hears, "We don't take kindly with your kind here." Izuku looks at them like, "I don't give a fuck, let me eat." This is when he finishes bread, gets done drinking his milk. Yes, Izuku ordered milk at a place because he doesn't drink alcohol either. He's not much of an alcohol guy in this one. And this is when pretty much she sees the 12 different ways to kill this guy. And this guy says, "Hey, you're mute or something?" This is when Izuku grabs him and by the head and grabs him and pulls him up from the helmet and just starts pulling him up like, ow, 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 and this one he just throws the guy right at the other knight. He pops his neck until the other knights draw their blades. The sigh of disappointment in Izuku's voice can tell that he is not in the mood. The knights charge at Izuku, and Izuku just grabs the blades and just breaks them. The knights just see their blades completely shattered, and they just look at him. This is when Izuku says, "Boo." The knights drop their blades and they just run. He shakes his head. And this is when he just walks off. This is when Izuku comes across a noble who was just standing there. And he just sees an annoyed look. "You must be Izuku." This is when Izuku shoots a snot on the ground and pretty much spits on the ground and just looks at her. Well, actually, no, looks at him. Yeah, him. "Good to meet you, too. What do you want?" "I want to hire you." "Okay, and what's the job?" "Shall we talk more privately?" He raises an eyebrow and just looks at the guards, who is actually shaking and pretty much still holding their broken, and still, they're hiding behind more elite knights. He raises an eyebrow. "I understand your distrust, but we are not here to harm you. Tell that to your big brute." This is when the big brute comes out saying, "I'm gonna fucking rip your majesty. I thought I told you to bring him to me, not insult him." "Your majesty, with all due respect, why should we need the help of a mongrel?" "Because he's the only one that's able to handle it." "How much is your normal price?" "It's 30 silver. "That's a little low, don't you think?" "Your majesty!" "Silence." "How about 300 gold?" 100 gold and 30 silver. "Deal." This one he exchanges hands. Izuku spits on his and just shakes his. This is when the knights are like, "You little enough." Oh. Let's admit, we all have our inner monster inside of us. My name name is My name is. Let's see, what would be a good one? Aha! A lot of you guys have been requesting this one, so yeah. My name is Prince Zoro. Actually, no. Prince Dinky. Yeah, Prince Dinky. I'll do a Zoro Hunter probably next week. My name is Prince Dinky. Nice to meet you. Okay. What's the job? There's been an increased attacks from sides. Meaning we've been getting attacked enormously by people. Bandits mostly. And they're different. I assumed they were Mongols until I saw them, instead of shooting arrows, they were just charging in battle. So what I'm hearing is that you thought that you were dealing with demon. You thought you were probably dealing with what? Centaurs? That's what we thought. Of course you did. I'll pay, like I said, you take care of them, I'll pay well. And if you earn with the leader's head, I'll give you a bonus. A bonus. He nods. Okay. Hey, this bonus. This better be interesting. It will be. Hey, do you want to see my smith before you go? Your Majesty. This Dinky looks at the knight. Sorry, Your Majesty. Nah, I'm fine. I don't know what your blacksmith might do to my armor. Or he might chip it or make it worse. That's when he says, ungrateful bastard. This is his tradition. Let's leave him be. He is no threat to us. Your Majesty, we are literally trusting a mongrel who killed your this mongrel's people killed your family. Yes, that may be, but I am still your prince. And when I say, I go. Yes, Your Majesty. Besides, we can't wage war on Mongols. We don't have the numbers, and also you forget you forget Bakugo. Oh, yes, Bakugo was the cocky knight that attacked Izuku. We don't have the we also are outmatched. You should know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have attacked him. Bakugo looks down in shame. Come. I must move on. This is when Izuku gets there. This is when Izuku uses his horse and comes across Asta. He sees the reason why that Dinky thought that these were mongrels. Same horse prints as his, but a little smaller. Izuku thinking, maybe Persian? That's the best thing I can think of. I mean, why else would they do this? Well, anyway. Izuku, who is now just minding, who gets to the place, sees the wet people. Huh. So they're samurai. That explains a lot. Not that many either. How have they been having problems with samurais? I should not even complain about it. Just get the job done, go home, and get a drink. Anyway, when Izuku moves to the second location, and he gets to the position, the samurais are drunk. They're fucking drunk and they see the spoils. Apparently they raided a big caravan. Izuku's thinking in his head, that explains. Then that's when Izuku grabs a dagger. Like I said, Izuku is also a tactician. And also, I mind you that Izuku knows a lot more than he thinks. So, when say that Izuku does come back with the head, which obviously is true, He moves on. Well, not move on. He gets there. He kills them by slitting their throat. Is the best way I should say. Hey, so you can imagine the pure or embarrassment they're probably in right now, or the disgracefulness that they managed to die from a Mongol. But what do you expect from samurais, eh? Now with Izuku, who's now just moving on, and managed to deliver the head, and he delivers the head right on a spear on a pike. And Dinky sees this, and he is actually quite fascinated. Okay. Hey. It is so. The rumors are true. You deliver what you promise. This one, Izuku says, why hire me of all people? They were literally just a bunch of drunkards. I was always fascinated by the Mongols. They knew better perception, and their tacticians are better than any other knights. Better than Bakugo's, in fact. Bakugo, pissed at his own majesty said that. Yeah, who is the rude guy who interrupted my lunch? Dinky looks at him. Unfortunately, this stubborn and prideful crusader is Katsuki Bakugo. Oh, a Pomeranian? No, but yes, he does have a temper so great. But don't worry, he's harmless. He is ordered not to attack you. So if I force him to twerk, he'll twerk? I don't think so. This one, and Bakugo says, don't push your luck, mongrel. Well, I think I'll push it. Bakugo gives him the middle finger. Oh! Cool. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. Alright, let's see. Give me a minute, people. Well. Alright, let's do this. There we go. This is gonna be awkward. Hey, Shadow. Shadow. Hello? The fuck? Hold up. Hello?
There we go, I fixed it.
There you go. I was gonna say, what the fuck?
My mic was muted, and I had it plugged in when I joined, but I have to unplug it, unmute it, and shit. It's all bad.
Yeah.
Mine's the wind in the mic because I currently have a window open.
That explains.
I'm basically living in a microwave.
That must suck.
Yeah, it does to a point, but being in a living microwave kind of has its bonuses, I guess.
Yeah, that must sound interesting. Well, this is. Go ahead.
It helps you get used to the heat better.
I bet. I am literally doing a what if as soon as you called. So yeah, I'm doing what if Deku was a mercenary medieval at AU, so yeah. Now, let's get back to the idea. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, Bakugo getting sassed, being sassed. This is when Izuku says, so, I brought you the leader's head. Where's my bonus? Follow me. This is when Izuku follows him to Dinky's dorms. Izuku thinking in his head, oh, wait a minute, I know where this is going. When I turn around, he's gonna be stripping butt naked, and I'm gonna be dingling him, and $50 say he's probably gonna shackle me and make me his prince. And this one he sees Dinky naked. Called it. This is when Izuku's thinking, why do I always call these? This is literally my 15th person I fucked of this month. Why am I so popular? Well, I can't complain. Neither can you, Darth? Shadow.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, you are. You're just listening. This is when Izuku just starts getting around of hiding the sausage into the glory hole. After a couple of hours of sticking, this when Izuku finds him chained up. What the fuck? This when Izuku saying, I fucking called it. This is when Bakugo says, Your Majesty, are you fucking serious? Yes, I am. But I know. Oh. But you're accepting it whether you're not like it or not. That is an order. Yes, Your Majesty. And when Izuku says, Izuku is still strapped down, and by the way, he's shackled to the bed. Explain? Well, my husband. Wait, what? Hold up a minute. I was joking about that thought! This when Izuku's thinking, why does this always happen to me? Can I ask why you wanted a Mongol as a husband? And, well, you guys have more manners, and plus, you're not that bad looking. I'm stuck with you whether I like it or not, am I? Yep. Can I at least still do mercenary work? Yep. Oh, well, in that case, cool. Now, you're probably all wondering in your head, why is Izuku accepting this so easily? Well, when you think about it, Dinky's a fucking noble. Well, and also now, due to him having a lover, he's a king. And so you can imagine how that works. This is when Izuku just becomes a little bit annoyed. Because now he still wears mongrel armor. Remember, he still wears mongrel armor. He is not wearing that heavy plate mail that goes clink, clink, clink. And especially during fucking summer. There is no way he's wearing that. Let's be honest. If we wore full plate mail armor, we'd be sweating our balls, or if you're women, to the point where our boobs might actually absorb the water and make our breasts bigger. I don't know how people wear plate mail back then. I mean, fucking hell.
It's true.
So yeah, even Shadow agrees it's true. Now, this is when Izuku sees his new room, and it's still Dinky's room, and he says, could use a little bit more fur, but meh, not that bad. This is when Dinky just shows him his throne. You actually made the throne look more mongrelish? Yes. Huh. Besides, mongrel seats are a lot more comfortable. Izuku's like, ooh, he's right, they are comfy. I wonder how my father's thinking about this right now. Oh, this is gonna be fucking interesting. With Izuku's father, remember, Izuku's father is fucking Persian. And so you can imagine the look on his face when he hears this. Hear ye, hear ye. Marriage to Dinky and Izuku is here. Hasashi spits out his coffee cup, spits out his tea. Nani? What? This is when all the Mongols just look at the messenger. It's true, see? The Mongol's eyes were... One of the Mongol reelers literally had to scrub his eyes to see clearly and ask for some glasses. They all look at Hasashi. Hi? How? Don't look at me! I haven't seen my son in 10 years! I haven't seen my son in 5 years! Yes, Izuku left at the age of 15. He's, Actually, no. You get the one I mean. He haven't seen him in years. Sheesh. With Izuku, who is now just the one thing he refuses to do. My answer is hell no! Oh, it's just one time. I am not taking a bath! Especially if there's women around! They're just cleaning ladies. No thank you. If they're gonna do anything, they can wash my shoes, but I am not letting them touch me armor. I'll do that, thank you. You know, I kinda like this one. You better. You're a lot better than my other husband. Wait, what? You were married? Yes, but he was... Let's just say there was an accident. You had him killed, didn't you? What gave that away? The psychopathic smile was a dead-ass giveaway. Everyone knows when a royal says an accident, it's someone who they fucking murdered. You're quick. I didn't know you were... Yeah, you're pretty smart. I'm a fucking mongrel. Bro, we literally live on general tactics. Even I know when it's fucked up and when it's not. So, who was your former husband? Well, technically it wasn't a husband. It was a female. It was supposed to be peace between Japan and well, England, but it didn't really go well, so I had her assassinated. Well, shit! Okay. What's worse, she was a childhood friend. Can you say her name? Yes, it was Ochako. Wow. Oh, that makes sense. And anyway, when I get back to the height, this is when Dinky just gets a shower on him and starts scrubbing his back. Now, mind you, Izuku wears scale mail armor, but he also wields a heavy weapon. And so he's pretty much he makes the Hulk look like a fucking skinny ass bastard. And also, let's not forget, he's also a werebear in this one. Like, a lot of people have been asking for a werebear what if, but in this one, I am going to pull another werebear what if probably after this to, well, let's just say a lot of people have been asking for DC for some motherfucking reason. And you all know I fucking hate this DC. Well, not all of it. I'm okay with Batman. I can actually see he's giving him a pint and saying, well, how was beating up the Joker? Okay. Another Tuesday. Yeah. Another fucking Tuesday. Hey. Now, are quarks around all over the world? Of course they are, except Dinky is a little bit more OP in this one. He can turn into a lightning dragon. Okay. Now, this is when we also get to Inko, who is praying to God. But when she comes out of the church, she says, "Hear ye, hear ye. The Dinky kingdom made peace with mongrels by marriage of Izuku." Huh? The look on the Christians' faces is fucking hilarious. Yes. Now, mind you, Dinky is not religious in this one. He actually does not give two shits about God because, well, let's be honest, why the fuck should we care about a guy who literally raped a woman and let his son die? The woman he raped do all that. So, yeah. And let's not forget the fact he also made the Egyptians' lives a living hell because they had slaves. We literally still did slaves in America. Come on, people. Well, yes, I'm going to be sassy all day because, number one, my coffee is cold. Now, Shadow, I know you don't drink coffee, but to a man, a coffee is everything. It's the reason why we get up and see the missus saying, "I love you." Well, luckily for me, I call all my missus, aka Sub-Zero, puppy. Because, let's be honest, he can be cute. Also, that reminds me, Shadow, he thought he hated you. Sub-Zero thought you hated him for some reason. Sub-Zero.
I just never spoke to him all that much.
Yeah, but he thought you hated him because he didn't talk much. Because, let's be honest, that happens. Even though he's not been online for a while. Maybe because of his overprotective sisters. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just never very talkative, usually.
Well, laddie, you're talking to me and you're talking to the Irish god that's gonna make a pun in 5 seconds. You could say it was a crack and a pilotty. As you could also hear that Shadow's also playing a video game, which I'm not surprised. Let me guess, ESO. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, when Izuku, who got to the marriage, is like, you know what? Fuck it. But Izuku does his mercenary thing. I swear, I wish there was a way to do the same thing I do with you against connecting the fucking sound to you instead of doing this. Like, seriously, this is actually freaking annoying. Maybe I could go to settings? Because I'm able to do that last time. Sound. Microphone. No. Okay. I'll take care of this later because I know this is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. Like, let's be honest, I hate the damn thing. Now, with Izuku, this one he says, Well, anywho, here's your kettle if you wish to make some tea. And other things, and pretty much say that you can go. Anyway, with Izuku, who is now wearing noble robes. Izuku's just thinking in his head, how the fuck do they wear these things? They're so itchy! Especially around me fucking balls. And let's be honest, man, itchy balls is not fun. And same go to women. Itchiness is a fucking ass. Let's all admit it, we all hate itchy privates. Or worse, an itchy arse. Or if I call the itchy part. What?
Everybody hates itching those spots.
Yeah, they do. I just hope they can hear you, because this is gonna be bullshit if they can't. I really hate the PS5 controller. I wish there was a way to change the settings so you could sound, so they can hear you through the TV and not the fucking controller. Like that would be fucking blast. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately we still can't do that. But anyway, back to the what if, before I forget, because I do that sometimes. Izuku sat down, and pretty much this is when he hears, alright, hey, where are you? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Izuku just sees, well, Dinky. And this one he says, hey, why don't we just go to the adoption center and adopt? Seriously? We just got married. He shrugged. He opens and raises an eyebrow. Okay. Boy or girl? I say boy. Wait, this one I hear, your majesty? What? Some Persian saying Hasashi is here. Oh yeah, that's my dad. Your dad? Yep. This one he hears, my lord, there's a crusader outside. Huh? This is what he says, out of my way! Madam, you can't go in. Like hell I am! And this goes against all our religion! And, Madam, it's just a fucking wedding! And who are you to judge? You're a god too! I'm Russian. And, great, another non-believer of God. Lady, I'm about 3 seconds of kicking your ass and making you wish you were gay. This one not. Hasashi says, can I please go through because I'm not causing as much trouble? Yeah, you can go on ahead since you're being nice. How come the Egyptian gets to go through? Because he's not a sassy little Karen. And what's a Karen? It means a fucking fat bitch. Why? You draw your weapon. But I don't need to draw my weapon. I can kick your fucking butt in the hymen. Man, Hasashi saying, hi. Oh, hey, Dad, what brings you here? Here. Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a guest room. He's your father? Yep. Well, hello then. My name is Dinky. Hello, you already know me. I'm Hasashi, his dad. I didn't know your dad was Egyptian. Well, let's just say we never saw eye to eye because I was always working at the forge. Oh, you were his blacksmith, aren't you? Yep. Would you like to be his professional blacksmith because he won't allow mine to refix his armor or weapon? Why am I not surprised? Yeah, I'll fix it. And who's the woman out there? Oh, that's my ex-wife. Hey, before I joined the Mongols. Was she your mother all like that? I never even met my mom, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. Imagine I was raised by her. Ugh. Yes, you'd be less interesting and a sexist. Now, Dinky becomes serious. Execute her. What? This one, the guard says, with fucking pleasure. Come here, bitch. Izuku's just thinking, and the day just started. So anyway, Hasashi. Yeah? My husband might be moving to do some mercenary work. Are you okay taking doing our apps and politicians while we're out? Well, I used to be an advisor, so sure. Splendid. You're now our advisor and royal blacksmith. Huh? Well, at least I'll have something to do over the past my remaining years. Why are you telling me this now? Oh, because we're gonna adopt a boy. Wait, a boy or a girl? A boy. Huh. Animal or human? Human. Then I recommend Grelog the Kind's orphanage. Grelog the Kind? Yes, if you know who that is, especially Shadow would know, then you know how this is going to end. Because whoever plays Skyrim and knows someone named Grelog the Kind, then you know that that's the opposite. When they get there, this one they hear, those who when they get to the orphanage, they hear, those who shook their duties will get raped by the horse. Ow! Wait, what? Do I make myself clear? Yes, Grelog. And one more thing. I don't want to hear any more words about adoption. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. No one cares for you. That's why you're here. A pathetic waste of space. This one Izuku's singing, I'm about to murder this bitch, and don't think that fatso dinky will save you. Shadow, how do you think this woman should die?
I think a woman should die.
Especially since this woman is Grelog the Kind.
Definitely light her on fire first, put poison in the fire, make her die, burn very slowly with the poisonous fire, screaming in agony. Who cares? I don't know. That's the closest thing I got. I don't like Grelog.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be brutal. This one Izuku transforms into a werebear and starts mauling poor Grelog while she's begging for her life. The kids are just screaming in happiness. Now, when we get to Grelog, before the, well, you know, ladies, this one Dinky went a little bit overboard and adopted all 8 children. Izuku's thinking, I thought we were adopting 1. Unfortunately, he pulled the ultimate weapon that's against all tops. The fucking sad puppy dog eyes. Okay, bottom men, femboys, and, well, bottom femboys, because I know there's some top femboys, and bottom women. May I ask you something? And top men who's able to pull the sad puppy dog eyes, why do you do this to your lovers? I don't get it. Is it a way to make us feel bad or something? Because if it is, then you're all fucking assholes. Because I still don't get why people pull the sad puppy dog eyes on me. It does not work. And to me, it's not really cute. Well, and sometimes it is. But that's because only my puppy pulls it. But,
What did they do?
no, Dinky pulled the sad puppy dog eyes.
Oh, yeah, people do that.
Yeah, I don't get why. And also, don't get me wrong, the sad puppy dog eyes does work on some people, but not me. So, puppy, if you're listening to this, then you know the puppy dog eyes won't work on me, unfortunately, unless you're banging me later. Then it will work. Now you're all probably thinking, is this guy only caring about sex? No, I care about other people. It's just, as when I'm on YouTube, I release my inner bastard, and you should all know that because I've been a cunt to everyone else. Well, actually, I'm never a cunt to Shadow. Sure, I make puns, but Shadow knows I'm only playing. If she didn't, I think we would have been unfriends and she would have tried to kill me more than once.
You have no idea.
See? I'm not a total cunt, but I am an arse. That's why I'm known as the God of Chaos. I might as well just be called God of Sassy Mouth.
Well, who does?
Yeah, but anyway, back to the video. So Izuku is pretty much got done with that, and he pretty much moved on, pretty much adopts all 8. Hasashi says, I thought you were only adopting 1! That's what I said, but he pulled the puppy dog eyes. Did Iko ever pull this sad puppy dog eyes? Nope. Oh, and please, she's dead. Please tell me that she's dead. How did the guard not kill her? No, they managed to do so, but she managed to get out and... Well... Oh, she killed the guard and got out of there quickly, didn't she? No, she died from a pitchfork. Her head, she fell and hit a pitchfork. And then landed on a pile of shit and got burned, and then was catapulted out of the castle. Bullshit. He points at the window. Oh, that's broken. How did? Don't even ask. I don't know.
That's very nice, Lilo.
Why did she call my home hell? Hell is not that bad. We are in hell.
She didn't call anyone in hell. She's talking about a Karen gotcha thing, probably. Like my little sister, it's always Karen gotcha and stuff.
Primo. Alright, must be some booze she's drinking. Anyway, back to the video. When Izuku got done with that incident, and this is when Izuku's thinking, great, now I can't do my mercenary work because now I have to deal with my kids. What are we gonna name them? Well, they all already have names. Alright, well, we're your dads, and that's your grandpa. This is when says, can I help? This is when one of the boys says, can I help them with the chores? Sure, I don't see why not. What's your name? Roar. That's cute. What's your name? No, that's my name. Roar, literally. Okay, yeah, you can help. Thanks. This is when Izuku comes across the new him. This one he meets the other kids, and half of them are not even close to spoiled. In fact, they knew that he's a mongrel, so they don't even become spoiled. They think that it's not even a good idea to be spoiled. So pretty much they got married, and yeah. I am probably going to pull another dinky ship, so don't be mad. But there's a reason why. Because after the marriage, the Crusade declared war on Dinky's kingdom. Which is stupid considering Dinky can turn into a dragon and Izuku can transform into a fucking werebear. Who's dumb enough to face those type of kings? Would you, Shadow?
No.
Would you, audience?
I don't want. Honestly, during those times, I wouldn't mess with the king at all.
Well, unless he fucked your husband, and that's a different book. Like, if he raped your family, then yes, I'm going to kill them. God or not God. Now, if you wish to ask us to do a ESO My Hero Academia What If, well, then you're out of luck, because I'm still trying to figure out if you guys can hear us or not. That one thing I hate about the PS5, I can't change the settings and put the noise on the TV. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. So if you can't hear, you're stuck hearing her through this controller until further notice. So, how did the war go with Izuku's and Dinky's people? Well, against the Crusaders? Horribly. Wait, I'm not even gonna try to add a epic battle that's been honored, fought, and miserably. No, because number one, Dinky and Izuku, who transformed into their beast forms, these soldiers were actually roaring with pride, while the Crusaders just nearly shit their pants because Dinky is the fucking size of fucking Alduin. And the fucker and Dinky literally looks like Alduin, just yellow. I mean, well, actually, yeah, he just looks like Alduin, just different color. He's not black. And I'm not saying that in a racist way. He's just, well, lightning dragons are never really black. They're either blue, yellow, or white. And white albino dragons are actually extremely rare, so I'm going to say albino. Oh, now, Izuku is, I'm going to say, a black bear. There, because let's be honest, Mongols don't really have to face that many bears. Do they? Wait. Shadow probably doesn't even know what... I already know that Shadow doesn't even know what Mongols are, but their armor, in her mind, I'm going to say, their armor is similar to the Red Guards in the Daggerfall Covenant. Does that make sense? I forgot you're playing a video game. But anyway, it went pretty well. So, I will do a What If Deku Was a Werebear, but I'm going to do that later. Because number one, I need to catch up on my ESO, and also, me and Shadow actually have a What If planning. So, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This has been Uncle Dylan here, and God of Chaos. Aftermath, well, let's just say they got married, and we already know how that works. So, this has been Uncle Dylan here, the God of Chaos, and Shadow, the God of Shadow Dragons, I guess?
No. Of anything, I mean, God of basically hearsay, but
God of Hearsay, okay.
I'm saying I mean God of the Hunt.
Oh, that makes sense. Wait, you're a Shadow Dragon. How does that even work?
I can't change my username, okay?
Why not just call yourself the God of Shadows and Dragons?
Just the God of Dragons until I get some.
Until then. Anyway, like I said, this has been the God of Chaos and the God of Dragons. Bye-bye!